In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory to God.
I was going to read the Metropolitan's address for the beginning of the church year, because today is New Year's Eve, for want of a better word. Tomorrow is the beginning of the church new year. But my printer ran out of toner, and Staples was on a stop, and won't be here till next Wednesday. So no bulletin and no letter. So the church marks the time in September, just as the ecclesial New Year for the Jews is very close. And on a Julian calendar, it's even closer to 2 New Years. Because it coincides, the New Year always coincides with the time of the harvest. The harvest. And that's how they mark off the time. In this morning's gospel, Christ encounters a man who seems to be observant of all the rules. And an observant Jew has 613 rules and regulations to stick to and observe. And he says, what else can I do? I do everything they tell me to do. What else can I do? It's really not determined whether or not this guy was being earnest in his question or if he was trying to deceive Christ and trip him up. I don't know. The fact that he became very disappointed when Christ gave him the answer that he wasn't expecting, which was to go, sell all of your possessions, since God has blessed you so well, take the proceeds from the sale, give them to the poor, and follow Jesus. He became sorrowful. It's not what he expected to hear. I don't know if he expected the question to say, oh, good for you, you're wealthy, and he's going to stroke his ego or whatever, but it wasn't the answer he was expecting. The point is, when we get wrapped up and worried and concerned about the material things of this world over everything else, and it seems to be a sign of the times, then we're really missing the story, and it's very detrimental to our salvation. So we have to keep in mind that all this stuff around us, everything around us, is temporary. Even our own bodies are temporary. They're good for around 100 years, maybe, who knows, but then they're gone. It moves on. So, and there's something higher and more important in the material world around us. And there's nothing sinful about riches or material wealth or comfort. It's if those riches and material wealth and comfort become something that causes one to neglect those people who are less fortunate. Then it's a problem. That's a problem. God has blessed us with a lot of material blessings, especially here in America. And what he expects us to do is take that blessing and for what we need, actually need, and then whatever's left over, you give to those who are in need. Okay? And this is what Christ was trying to tell this guy, and it didn't sit well with him. Nobody knows what happened to him, as far as the gospel is concerned, whether this guy followed Christ's advice or whether he just disappeared. We don't know. But the whole thing is, we can't get caught up in the ways of the world. This is why we have church, to give us a break from all that calamity and that craziness out there, and that greed and that lust and all this need to have things. It's a big temptation, especially here in America. Being one of those people that people classify as a collector, I'm probably one of the worst sinners when it comes to this kind of stuff. Just ask my wife. She's constantly telling me, get rid of that, you don't use it. Constantly. So we're called by God, amidst our blessings, to enjoy those blessings, to be grateful for those blessings, and it takes some of that blessing and share it with those who are less fortunate than ourselves. It's not that complicated. And this is what it's about. And this way, riches don't become a means of damnation, they become a means of salvation. Okay? And it can be done. It can be done. Look what happened with Nicodemus. And with some of the publicans who were very rich, but they turned around. They turned their lives around. So you and I can do it too. So always keep in mind, Christ is first. Our salvation is first. All of the material wealth and comfort that we enjoy in this world are gifts from God. And from those gifts from God, we're expected to give from our surplus to those who are less fortunate than ourselves. Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.